Ms. Jessica Tan.
Mr. Deputy Speaker, the recent spate of fires in Singapore and the fatal fire in Jurong are timely reminders of the need to ensure that fire safety requirements for buildings remain relevant and effective to respond to the fire safety risk. In densely populated Singapore and with a large number of buildings, especially high-rise buildings, ensuring the safety of buildings is key to protecting lives in the unfortunate event of a fire. Crucial aspects of a building's safety are the possibility for safe escape and compartmentalization. The condition of the building will also have impact on the speed a fire spreads or whether it is contained. Although this is an extreme example, the tragic fire at Grenfell Tower in the UK in 2017 is a sad case that demonstrates what could happen when all fire safety regulations of the building failed. From the cladding of the building, the quality of the renovations, outstanding fire safety issues, all these were a combination of factors that led to the disastrous consequences and the unnecessary loss of many lives. The key amendments of the bill seeks to enhance the fire safety of buildings by strengthening SCDF's regulatory and enforcement powers, to optimize the use of SCDF resources, and to streamline regulatory processes for greater clarity. While I am supportive of the bill, I do have some feedback and clarifications. The Fire Safety Act, with the tightened safety regulations and certification process for buildings, if approved, will require older buildings which have not undergone additions and alterations or A&A, as well as buildings where the occupants are faced at a higher risk in the event of a fire, to install critical fire safety features. This is in compliance with the latest fire code. And it has been pointed out that some 500 buildings in Singapore that were built before the 101-202 fire code and have a high occupancy load require these features. So while we all agree that safety cannot be compromised, the stricter requirements will increase construction schedules, and the cost will affect both the building owners and tenants. As fire safety experts, SCDF is best positioned and must take a practical approach to work with building owners to comply with the safety standards while managing costs. Ensuring that the building meets fire safety regulation standards is important, but equally critical is that the building's fire detection and alarm system, evacuation plans, and policy in the event of a fire. As the bill will empower SCDF to investigate fire hazards and to mandate building owners to comply with fire safety regulations, how does SCDF ensure that buildings have in place appropriate building fire evacuation plans and policies? I think this is as crucial as the physical infrastructure and fire regulations of the building. With the strain on manpower, I understand the rationale for the bill to also seek to empower SCDF to appoint authorized third-party officers to conduct routine fire safety enforcement checks and building inspections. This will allow SCDF officers to focus on more complex enforcement. So while the task of building inspections and fire safety enforcement checks are routine, they do require SCDF officers to be on the ground, and with this will give them a good feel and assessment of the fire safety conditions of buildings. So by outsourcing these tasks to authorized third parties, I do hope that there will be a balance of using authorized third parties for these tasks and still have SCDF officers stay connected with the ground conditions and more importantly, the insights of what's happening on the ground. So while the tasks of conducting inspections and enforcement are routine, they are also important tasks to ensure that the buildings meet the fire safety standards. And to this point, how will SCDF ensure the quality of the tasks done by the authorized third parties? SPS did share that there would be measures to safeguard the quality of these include audits as well as body-worn cameras Can more details be provided in terms of the benchmarks, criteria, and the frequency of such audits? With many Singaporeans living in HDB flats, and given the rise in PMD fire incidences within HDB flats and the blocks, can Minister also share the fire safety standards and measures to handle fire risk of HDB blocks and flats? I do want to take the opportunity to also thank our SCDF officers for the work that they do and for keeping Singaporeans safe. To protect lives, it is essential that fire safety regulations stay relevant and that there is continued maintenance and testing of fire safety standards and inspection to ensure our buildings are fire safe. Mr. Deputy Speaker, notwithstanding my comments and clarifications, I support the bill.